Hey guys, welcome back to Soulback Sports, and I'm so back with another video, and this is part 6 of the series What Should They Do? And before we get into today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and it really helps me create content like this for you guys, so please subscribe. And today, as you can see right here, we're going over what the New York Giants should do in this upcoming offseason in order to be better in 2024. And the Giants this past season had a record of 6-11 and ended out the season with the win. And you see right here that they have a decent amount of draft picks in the 4 draft picks in the first 3 rounds, and let's just check over the stats real quick, or like the depth chart as well. Before we get in depth chart though, let's check the stats real quick. As you can see, Tyrod Taylor was their leading quarterback with yards, but as you can see right here, Daniel Jones really only played 6 games, had 909 yards to show for it. Didn't have a great season just at all by any means, because he only threw for 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, took 30 sacks, and had a QBR rating of 70. And after paying Daniel Jones this past offseason with I'm pretty sure it was like 160 million for 4 years or something like that. I forgot his contract deal, but yeah, let's just say that contract did not come to fruition. And the Giants are in a very unique situation where they have a lot of questions when it comes to holes within their offensive scheme, and also the question at quarterback, and even sometimes their defense as well. You have to look into, their secondary. You have to look into their D-line, linebacker. Like, you have a lot of questions to answer this coming offseason. But I feel like you still have a decent amount of capital to work with. So let's look at the capital real quick. You can see right here, they have about $26 million in cap space. And, they have a lot of free agents coming up soon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Saquon is a free agent. Isaiah Simmons is a free agent. Paris Campbell is a free agent. McKinney's a big, important people that are going to be free agents this upcoming offseason. So the question is, what should they do in terms of, rebuilding this team and restructuring everything and kind of improving next season? Well, for starters, I think that the best course of action is to start off by restructuring Daniel Jones's deal. I think that by doing so, you will be able to free up more space in order to add more assets and pay other players that are pretty important too. I think the Darren Waller contract should also be restructured as well, because it's not the best. Also, cutting Evan Neal. I mean, it's kind of ran its course at this point. Like, I think that by adding or replacing him really would be the best course of action. I mean, he doesn't take too much of a cap hit, but I would say it's based on his performance this year. I think that you will cut your losses by just cutting him. And you see right here, you have a lot of calculated market values of Xavier McKinney, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is going to be quite a big what if, in terms of if they want to keep him and retain him, and or move on from him and trade him to another team. I think that you can still. I would suggest you pay him, because it could be proved to improve your offense next season. Not saying that give him the bag, but give him a decent amount deal that's team friendly. By also restructuring Darren Waller and Daniel Jones' deal, you can at least free up some money for Saquon Barkley and maybe Isaiah Simmons and McKinney as well. So. And the thing is, you have a lot of cap space to work with. You have $26 million in cap space, which is pretty solid for what it is, and only $17 million in dead cap. So let's just go to what they essentially need to do. So I said Daniel Jones restructures his contract, takes us to more team-friendly deal, and Saquon gets paid a little bit. And then Wan'Dale Robinson, I mean, that right now you don't have to worry about. In terms of Tankathon, all right. So let's just look at the draft position they are in. Yes, I would, if Roma Dunze ends up falling towards the 6th overall pick, I would probably take him over Malik. But I would say Malik is still a great option nonetheless. I would say that Malik is could be a very safe pick per se, because you're getting a wide receiver from LSU, and typically wide receivers from LSU really pan out in the NFL, and they're really developed already in college. So I wouldn't be surprised if the New York Giants stick with Malik Neighbors and let him fall to them. And then remember, the Giants need to focus on two things really. One, improving that offensive line and restructuring that offensive line, and two, in restructuring that D line, right? And addressing that in the draft is going to be what's huge and what's going to allow them to take that next step next season. They won 6 games this year despite not even having their starting quarterback and having a QB carousel of Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito. So they can improve that offensive line, protect Daniel Jones even more, because you are stuck with Daniel Jones for a bit. So might as well improve the team around him, and then once the time comes where you can switch out for quarterbacks, you can probably do that easily and not have to skip a beat, really. And I would say I would not suggest taking a quarterback or moving up or trading up to get a quarterback, because at this point at this stage in the New York Giants, like, iteration of a team, it's not QB friendly at all. And your best course of action is to use your skill players more than your quarterback right now. And that's why I'm saying paying Saquon is probably worth it in the short term as well. And, adding more wide receiver depth. In terms of free agents, I wanted to talk about some free agents that could work for the Giants. I mean, given that they have some decent amount of cap space, they can probably even get like a good amount of like help in terms of wide receiver help. Maybe considering being in the run for T. Higgins could be a good option. Where's the other ones? And I mean, if they could find a way to add a Pittman Jr. for wide receiver would be amazing for them. And then maybe even like Madubuike for defensive interior. Like, you can add more depth to that interior line. And, he can add towards for Dexter Lawrence. You can add more stuff for, let's see who else is there. I honestly keep forgetting the names. Roster. All right. Let's see. Dexter Lawrence, right. And then, just adding another piece would definitely allow that line to be great. And then in terms of Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe adding another linebacker could be really good. Okereke has been pretty solid for them for what I remember. So adding that more depth would really push this team defensively. And, let's just look quickly at their overall stats for that. Okay. So, edge rusher, offensive tackle, D-line. I think if you pretty much this mock draft right here addresses all the key positions that they need besides running back. And if you make these changes, you can look at being a really decent team in the NFC East and even the NFC in general, because your schedule, for what I remember, is pretty decently not that hard. So, let's see positional spend or active contracts real quick. So, yeah, if you cut your restructure a bunch of your deals, I think you're going to be in a better spot. You're going to have like at least $40 million in cap space. And yeah, you just have to make some cuts too. You have to make sure you cut Evan Neal, maybe get a tackle in the draft kind of replacement, and even in free agency too. Like, there are definitely a bunch of people you can consider. Antoine Woodfield as a safety would be good for their secondary. L'Jarius Sneed. Yeah. So, all in all, I pretty much covered all bases of it. So, let me know down in the comments below what you think. What should they add more than what I said, or probably even less? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to read what you guys have to say. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.